Well, as we approach the end of the year, many of you may already be preparing for the holidays. And even though it's a time to celebrate and be joyful, for many people, it can also be very emotional as well. An emotional time between family, stress, loneliness, and expectations. And here to help us navigate the holiday blues is best-selling author and love coach, Dr. Cassandra Coach Cass Enriquez. She's also a friend of the show as well. Welcome to Voices this morning.
Thank you for having me, Juwan. So happy to be here.
It's good to have you to talk about this because this is a real thing.
It is.
And we touched on it a little bit in the intro, but why do so many people feel down during the holidays?
All the expectations, right, Juwan? You have to show up a certain way. You have to do a certain thing. I was talking to a couple clients before the show, and one said, you know, I realized that I wanted to carry on my mother's legacy, but nobody told me to do that. So here I was, you know, hosting everything, doing everything, making everything mine when I didn't have to. So I think a lot of it is unrealistic expectations, and sometimes it's really missing those that you've lost or maybe you've lost contact with.
That's true. That's very true. And what are some of the symptoms of holiday stress?
Holiday stress. So there's depression, there's loneliness, there's just deep down where you start to isolate yourself. So over and over again, what I'm seeing is because of past hurt, individuals will start to isolate themselves. You know, over 67% of Americans are experiencing loneliness at this time of year. Yeah, and it's literally because of isolation. Think about it. We'll like on the chat, you know, like online, but do we actually pick up the phone? Do we send the text message? Do we spend time in person? The remote work, so many remote workers. So because of all of this, we have become a more lonely society, which literally has become an epidemic.
And let's talk about some of the triggers as well, like some of the feelings, like unrealistic expectations, financial stress, and social pressure and isolation. Can you kind of delve into that a little bit?
Yeah, so when you're by yourself all the time, it takes a lot to step outside and to reach out, right? So I think of it like pie, right? So pie. So you got to pause, inhale, exhale, and start to think about what is it that you want your holiday season to look like from now, instead of waiting in the midst of it and saying, okay, well, no one invited me, no one got together, or I have to buy all these things to show up. Be realistic with the expectations. If you don't have it, I still want you to show up to the holiday festivities and say, okay, this year I don't have it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so true. And what are some practical ways now that people can do to boost their mood or energy when they're feeling low during the holiday?
Yeah, so joy, right? So first you have to jot down what you're grateful for. Like science says that writing down 3 things every single day boosts your serotonin, your dopamine, your endorphins, like all that good stuff to be able to be better. So it increases and decreases your loneliness, right? Your over time, about 40%. If you start to do this every single day, the O is open up your heart. Actually allow connection in. Be vulnerable. Call somebody up and say, hey man, like, can we make some plans? Can we get together, right? And the why is to yield to connection. So receive it. Like if somebody invites you out, say yes. People have gotten so used to being in their pajamas and being on their couch that they don't want to leave the house, and then they wonder, why am I feeling so lonely? Do you know that right now loneliness, 29% premature death, increases your risk of premature death. Loneliness. So it is a serious situation that before we get to the holidays, for us to start to think about what is the plan that we have for the joy that we desire this holiday season.
I love it. And family gatherings can be stressful as well. Especially, you know, our families, you know.
Amen. Where's the baby? Where's the husband?
You know,
why are you still single?
You know, when there's conflict or pressure. So how can people protect their peace?
That breathing, back to that pie, the pause, inhale, exhale, step out on the porch, go outside, throw the football around. You know, when people start saying weird things, excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, take a selfie, do a little dance, start a Soul Train line. You know, do something.
And that's what we would do.
That's
the Soul Train line. That is like tradition.
That's going to change the mix. For my family, certain topics are off limits. And I'll say, hot button. I'll say, oh no, you know, we're not talking about that. So you have to draw the line and draw the boundary, or go help in the kitchen. Like, you need me to chop some onions, you need me to chop some potatoes. So be helpful, serve, do something different, or just, you know, be that person that's serving others instead of focusing in on yourself.
And how important is it to care take care of your mental health during the holidays?
it is
Because
so
you kind of touched on that a little bit, but how
Yeah.
important is that?
It really is. It's life saving and life changing. What I realized, so this summer I took almost 30 women to Africa. And one thing that I realized in spending time with them is that we need sisterhood, we need brotherhood, we need community. And doing this thing called life alone isn't helpful for your spirit. We were made to commune. We were made to connect. So stop fighting it and find your tribe. Period.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe.
How can friends or family help someone out there that might be struggling with the holiday blues?
They have to reach out, right? So
Yeah.
what I always say is if that person passes your mind, if you think about that person, give a call, send a text, make the effort to connect. Because how many times have we said, oh man, I meant to call so-and-so and now it's too late. So let it not be too late. Make the call, make the plans, and do something different this holiday season.
I love it. Some great advice here from Coach Cass. How can folks follow you?
Oh, wantedwoman.com/NBC or at Inspire Many on Instagram.
Coach Cass, thank you as always.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you. You got it.